like we worked with Lucky Hair, and we have changed our souring process coming out of that collaboration. We did a collaboration with Stout Beard and used some new ingredients in that we're using now to as like a lactose replacement. So that's what it's all about for us is just sometimes it's fun to just like go, okay, yeah, we're gonna make an IPA, let's slap both our names on it. But to me, it's more about that spirit of brewing and both sides are learning something.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to All Beer Inside. Today we are in Syracuse, New York, and joining me is Andrew, owner and director of brewing operations at Talking Cursive.
Hello.
Hi, thank you very much for hosting us today. Really appreciate this. It's clearly a very busy day with coming off the festival and stuff, so let's talk some beer and the history of Talking Cursive. First off, you brought me some tasty looking beers here to try. What am I starting with?
First one is Crispy Girls. That's our Bohemian Pilsner. It's women created and brewed, and it's won a silver medal in the 22 New York State craft beer competition.
Very cool, as we do. A toast. Oh, that is refreshing. Wow. Is this part of like the Pink Boot Society? Because I know you mentioned it's a woman who brewed it.
No, we just, it kind of came about, our women were like, so, crispy boys, what about crispy girls? And the initial thought was like, well, we're getting ready to brew our Pilsner, we can just, maybe do something a little bit different, call it that this time. And then it was like, actually, no, like, let's make this something, let's do something like
Fantastic.
this. Like, you guys come up with the recipe, and you girls come up with the recipe. Yeah. And so, awesome. They all came in and brewed it. And so now, every time we brew it, there's one of the women that works here, helping with the brewing and mashing in, graining out all that.
Very tasty beer. That's a great start for me. So what's the history of Talking Cursive? Let's know the history of the brewery.
We established in 2017 and then opened our doors March of 2019.
Okay.
My wife and I were both into the hospitality business, and thinking about opening a restaurant for a long time, and then just kind of got into our real jobs, and that kind of went away. And then it came like, well, breweries don't open till don't have to stay open till 2 a.m. So we decided to open a brewery.
Amazing. Talking Cursive is a pretty unique name. Where'd that come up from?
Kind of came from, there's a Dean Martin saying, I'm not slurring my words, I'm talking cursive.
Okay.
So.
That's awesome. I love that. Cool. Now, I saw like the history board. This was like one of the oldest, the location you're in was like one of the oldest breweries in New York State until it burned down. Is that what decided like this is where we're making our brewery?
There was really a number of factors. The history of this place as a brewery was a big part of it. So it was the home of the first commercial brewery in Syracuse, and then also after that the largest. It took up this whole block all the way down to there and was 8 stories tall at one point. So and that was Greenway's Brewery. And then really just, the view here, we're across the street from the Niagara Mohawk Building, beautiful Art Deco building. And, if we were going to be in downtown Syracuse, where else would you want to be?
Yeah. So, I mean, March 2019, you opened the doors. March 2020.
We got our 1-year anniversary in. And then Wednesday was like,
Yeah.
I'm not sure what's going to happen. We might need to think of some plans. Like Ohio and California are starting to close places. And then it was, we did what we could. It was, it's going to be 2 weeks till we flatten that curve and we'll be fine, And then that didn't happen. So we switched to takeout only for some time. Slowly came back as the regulations changed. We could have outdoor seating, then we could have 4 people at a table, and then we could have 6 people at a table, and then we were back to being to-go only again. And but we weathered through that.
You survived, right? So
we're
that's the big part.
still here. The government programs that were there were very helpful to us, got us through, and we're still here today. So
that's great. Did the locals, like your local fans, really step up, buy some extra stuff, buy a T-shirt, buy gift cards?
Absolutely. We had people that they basically would go to like 3 or 4 breweries every week and just get a case of beer from every single one of them. So.
That was me. It was like, okay, now where we live in Quebec, we were able to order online for pickup, which was cool. So it's like, okay, I'll order it, pop my trunk, they put in my beer, and I leave.
Yeah.
That's it. So I show my phone to make sure it's me. So
there were some advantages of that. Like as a customer, like I could go to Portland and like everything's pre-ordered, and I know it's going to be there because I've ordered it and paid for it. Not like drive 7 hours and we're out of that.
Now, there were some good things that came out of the pandemic, but let's not have another one. At least not in our lifetime.
No.
This every 100 years I'm okay with. So besides the pandemic, clearly, any other kind of roadblocks establishing Talking Cursive?
Just general, starting up a business and the things you learn along the way and the assumptions you make and being able to be nimble and make those changes. One thing COVID did is it stopped everything, and so a year in we're like, running straight towards that wall, and it was like, whoa, hold on, put on the brakes.
Yeah.
We had a change in brewing, and that happened at a very slow time, so it wasn't a super challenge, because of that. We were able to build it back the way we wanted to. So,
I discovered you guys through the New York State Brewing app, and I see you have the Untapped thing as well. Do you find those are helpful drawing beer geeks like myself?
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, no, it's really good to see that. I feel the New York State craft beer, having done the festival, they just welcomed us. They're like, hey, yeah, come in from Montreal, and the drive was a little bit of a pain in the butt, but it was. It's great that we're getting New York State out to our local Montrealers, because Syracuse is a hop, skip, and a jump. It's 4 hours. If you live in Kingston, it's an hour or 2 hours. And to me, you should be sharing local. You should, somebody like yourself should be coming up to Canada and drinking our beer, and then I'm coming down and drinking your beer. And we're all spreading the love. And I do see, like, through your screen, there's a lot of supporting local. You use New York State hop farms and things like that.
Yes.
Was that always a focus of Talking Cursive, is trying to stay as local as much as you can? Clearly, you can't for everything, but as much as you can to stay local?
Yeah, what we can, we do. We're dual licensed as a farm brewery and a microbrewery.
Okay.
For each one, we just have to do 50 barrels to keep each license, so that's not a problem. For the New York right now, it's 60% malt, 60% hops.
Okay.
And we actually used, it was over 60% malt overall last year and just under 60% overall for hops.
It's good though. Like, that's what we're about, is supporting local businesses as much as you can. Clearly, you can't do for everything. Like, you're not buying a TV made in the U.S. or Canada. You're buying it from overseas. But when it comes to drinking beverages and eating food, support local. There's no question about it. And
no, I mean, we get most of our, like even our food, a lot of that is local. So like our burgers are, like Black Angus from a local farm in Auburn. So Center State Cattle Company, shout out.
It's a big circle too, because I'm assuming your spent grains goes to a local farm.
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the important part. All right, let's get to beer number 2 here. I believe that's Trail of Angry Otters, you poured me?
No, the second one is going to be Joshua.
Oh, okay.
Which is our ESB.
Okay, awesome. Love an ESB. So tell me a bit about the beer.
It's an ESB. It's long story behind it that I'm not ready to go into right now.
Okay, no, that's fine. Awesome.
But
Atos. What's the ABV on this?
5.8 maybe.
Okay, that's not bad.
Of course, it's not up there right now.
Now, of ESB, I find is a very rare beer at a brewery. I mean, the IPA train is still chugging along, but it's good to get like a crispy and a malty beer, and then another type of beer, which I think is next, is actually Trail of Angry Otters.
Yes.
So it's nice to have these beers and enjoy them.
Yeah, we try and have a real nice selection, kind of a combination of traditional beers, beers that people want to buy, so hazy IPAs, fruited sours, and then stuff that we want to do, like a dark steam beer.
Yeah. I'm assuming the intro beer for people who come in and I only drink Bud or Blue or whatever. Like it's
exactly.
Yeah.
Like we'll try this. And
yeah. Have you ever gotten people who are like just hardcore Bud drinkers to like try crazy IPAs all of a sudden?
Not generally.
No. It's just you always hope.
It takes time.
Yeah. What was the first couple of beers that ever came out of Chalk and Cursive? Are they still on the menu too?
Yeah, so Joshua's one of them.
Okay.
Kinnaid is our Scottish export ale. Spirit of Light, that was our original New York Pilsner, 100% New York State ingredients. Crispy Girls has kind of taken that over.
Yeah.
But we do still have it about half the time.
Yeah.
Hop Flash, it's an American IPA. It's kind of evolved since we've started brewing it. It started out as a kind of East meets West.
Mm-hmm.
It's still there, but it's gotten a little hazier.
Okay,
We've
cool.
changed the hops around a little bit. So kind of like a new age American IPA.
Very cool. Love it. I'd like to ask this now. Clearly, you're very busy, festival and everything, but let's say 2 weeks opens up and you could take that beercation you've never taken. Where are you going?
Boy, that's a really good one.
The problem is there's so much good beer in the world.
Yeah, there is. It's like it could be like Maine, New Hampshire. You could do Vermont, Germany, Colorado. Most of those I've been to. Texas actually is on my list.
Texas, wow.
Jester King.
I
Mainly
think you're the
Jester
first person
King.
who's ever said Texas on the show, and we're 157 episodes in, so that's a first. That's rare for me. Yeah, it's just like, what is it? There's 7,000 breweries in the U.S. right now.
Something like that.
There's a couple of thousand in Canada. We're both a hop, skip, and a jump from each other.
We're over 500 in New York alone.
Yeah, it's insane. Like that's what the New York State app. It's like some guys got checked into 477 of the breweries. I'm like, I've got 20. So it's crazy, and I'm pretty close to Plattsburgh, Albany, Saratoga Springs. Syracuse is a little farther away. That's why we're doing a full thing this weekend with interviews and stuff. But it's good that every kind of little city, I guess, would be Syracuse type of thing.
Yeah.
Because you do have a big university football program and stuff like that. So you clearly get people coming in. A town of about 200,000.
I think 170 maybe,
Okay,
but
so-
yeah.
And I saw
In that
about
area.
10 breweries in the area, so that's for a beer drinker, that's amazing. As personally, and then what is it at the festival? There'll be 50 plus breweries from the state of New York. It's a lot of good beer drinking in the state and
Absolutely.
Vermont as well. So
Yeah.
And then speaking about Vermont, Trail and Angry Otters, friends of the show, Jack from Weird Window.
Yes. So our head brewer Paul Zemba used to work. He was working at Long Trail, and
Okay.
Jack was up at Otter Creek there, and so that's where that collaboration came from. I'll leave the rest of that to everyone's imagination.
Fantastic. As we do, a toast. Oh, that nose is so unique. Oh, so smooth too. Wow.
It's got kind of like a red IPA vibe, along with
Yeah, it's like malty and hoppy, but not. Either one's not really overpowering the other.
very balanced.
Yeah, this is incredible. Wow, you and Jack kick some butt here, or your brewer.
Yes,
your brewer.
yes.
Sorry. Yeah.
I don't want to take credit where it's not due.
Wow, this beer's fantastic. Unfortunately, we didn't get to try it when we interviewed Jack, so this, I'm assuming it's at both locations.
I'm not sure if they still have it. So we brewed a Vermont version up there with the state laws and all
Yeah.
that. Like we couldn't have theirs, they can't have ours.
Yeah.
So Paul went up there in July and brewed there, or earlier in the year. It was available at VBF, and then we did a virtual collaboration for this version.
Yeah. Future collabs. Who would you love to collab with?
Oh, geez. Too many. I'm not even sure. We just did came off of our year of collabs. We actually did. I think we've been trying to make sure we remember them all. It's like 16 or 17 collaborations that we did this past
that's
year.
ambitious.
So, but it was all about trying new ingredients, learning new processes. Like we worked with Lucky Hair, and we have changed our souring process coming out of that collaboration. We did a collaboration with Stout Beard and used some new ingredients in that we're using now to as like a lactose replacement. So that's what it's all about for us is just sometimes it's fun to just like go, okay, yeah, we're gonna make an IPA, let's slap both our names on it. But to me, it's more about that spirit of brewing and both sides are learning something.
So I'm new to the area. And so let's say somebody else is new to the area, comes here, tries a bunch of beers, eats some food, buys some cans, friends in the area that I gotta go to.
Underground Beer Lab.
Okay.
Keith's doing great stuff over there. Mainly, hazy IPAs, really, hop selection, all that kind of stuff, IPAs. And then the occasional, fruiter aged Pilsner or Saison, a few fun project things as well. So many people are gonna be mad if I don't mention it, but
It's hard though, because there's like 10, 15 breweries within not even a half-hour drive. There's a lot in Syracuse. I was very surprised when I opened that app.
yeah, I mean, it kind of depends on, like we always kind of like, well, what do you drink? Like if you like English styles, like head over to Middle Ages. If you like hazy IPAs, go to UBL or Heritage Hill.
Okay.
Bullfinch is making some good stuff over there. There's Willow Rock, there's Buried Acorn, Eastwood, and Full Bore. I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody.
Yeah, no, there's and from what I'm seeing, like, just if you're visiting, just get a hotel room, and everything from what I'm seeing is within like a half-hour walking distance of the Syracuse kind of downtown core.
Yeah, I mean, you can go from here to Middle Ages to Myers Creek has a spot on the Inner Harbor, and then to Buried Acorn and Bullfinch.
Yeah.
So, it's all.
Just don't drink and drive, and drink and stumble.
Yeah.
And get an Uber on the way back. So amazing. Now I know you also do food here. Is there a food and beer pairing program, or just kind of suggestions?
So we, we have a couple nights. So we have like Wednesdays burger and beer night, Thursdays pizza and pint night. But we also do like certain pairings. Generally, those are more of like a special occasion. So we do Brewers dinners two or three times a year, and that's with like a very select menu and beer pairing set up for that.
Yeah.
We also do like for Beer Week, we did taco flights and beer flights together. So it was like 3 tacos and a dessert taco paired with 4 beers.
That's cool. I like stuff like that. People are like, oh, you're a beer snob now. I'm like, yeah, but I'm enjoying local, and I'm enjoying good food, and I'm enjoying good beer. So yeah, I'll admit to being a snob. There's no problem with that. I noticed you do quite a bit of charity stuff, Beer for Hero or Hero for Beer Thursdays. What made you decide like we need to do this charity stuff?
First, I mean, I'm a veteran first, so
Okay.
United States Marine Corps, and just also. I think part of being a responsible business owner is being involved in your community. So we work with, some veterans groups, Red, White, and Blue, or also Honor Flight. We did a beer for them, Mission 15, for their, basically their flight was delayed due to the pandemic. So it was like 2 years before they got to take that. So we did a beer where like $1 from every can and pint went towards that mission. And then we work with Page's Butterfly Run a lot. Their run starts right out where we open, so it makes complete sense to work with them.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's still like that community focus, supporting local. Because if you're supporting them, then they're going to come support you, and then people who want to support them will hear about you, and it's that great big circle of kind of the beer, alcohol, craft industry. Let's all kind of get together, and I do see you have more or less a full bar too. I'm guessing most of those are local distilled alcohols as well?
Yeah, so with the farm brewery, that allows us to have New York State spirits, wine, and cider.
Okay.
So it's all New York State.
Yeah, so that's it. And it's the important part is that you're supporting local businesses. You're not giving money to a share owner at InBev or anything.
I mean, I think that, that was, a big part of expanding the breweries in New York State was keeping the money in the state, with the, even the malt and the hops, keep that money in New York State.
Amazing. All right, what's this last beer I got here?
The last one here is Golden Keys. That's the latest in our Stolen Keys series.
That nose is beautiful. Was 6% or so?
This one, 7.
7, okay.
6 or 7, I can't remember.
A toast?
So we've done a whole bunch of different New England IPAs.
Yeah.
This one, we said all right, well, let's just give people what they want. Citra, Mosaic, Simcoe,
Yeah.
Golden Promise, Golden Naked Oats.
Amazing. Thank you. Oh, see, it's nice and balanced. It's not crazy over the hoppiness. Some New Englands now are just whoa. But I also enjoy those. I enjoy every type of craft beer there is. I think there's 2 out of the thousands and thousands of beers I've tried. There's 2 that I've ever been no, this is disgusting. Death train. And that's probably just me, because that's my thing. Your labeling's pretty unique too. Who works on your can labels?
So Randy Hadzor, he's our artist. He also does work with Buried Acorn as well. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's evolved quite a bit since we opened. We kind of started with this kind of yellow can, design in the middle. Yeah. And then it's just kind of evolved since that.
Now you have your barrel aging program out front. What made you decide to not keep it hidden in the brew house?
Space.
Okay, that makes sense.
Actually a COVID mistake. Our tasting room was closed, so we're we've got room for these barrels. And then it was, as we started reopening, it was oh yeah, where are we putting these barrels now?
You guys are attached to an apartment building. You get a lot of
yes.
people who live upstairs
yes.
I don't have to drive. Woo!
Absolutely.
That's great.
Even a couple employees that live there, so.
Very cool. Your tables and stuff, you're very, the old pipes and stuff, is that a local, metallurgist who made your tables and stuff?
So we did the tables and the tops were through Casnovia Cutlock. Mm-hmm. Local company and just outside of it, where my wife and I are from.
Okay, cool. So we're coming off the festival, the New York State Beer Festival in Syracuse. I understand it goes Syracuse, Albany, and a few other places, but
yes.
Okay, but at this year's festival, what were you pouring?
So we had the Trail of Angry Otters collaboration, the Crispy Girls, our newest Exoplanet Fruited Sour, the Pineapple Kiwi Orange, and also Nimo Elvis, who you can see right across there, right in the middle. That's Nimo Elvis, our buddy. And we're also going to be bringing bottles of our Kisses Sweeter Than Barley wine, which was a bourbon export wine, barrel-aged barley wine.
Wow, that sounds like it was amazing. I'm sure it's going to go like that because, people at beer festivals, especially like this one where it's 80 and I believe it's all you can drink,
yeah,
people are going to go
ABV
the big ones to start. I'm not going to be walking around drinking lagers all day, pounding back. Amazing. And I guess this is kind of the first big one back after COVID too. How does it feel to have that festival coming back?
Nice.
Yeah.
We did it last year. It was a little bit subdued. This year it seems like it's going to be right back on track. So,
amazing. Thank you very, very much, Andrew, for hosting us today. First, I want to ask, what's next for Talking Cursive as a brand?
Kind of, up in the air right now with everything going on. There's, we're looking at expansion, but there's, the CO2 issue going on right now that is kind of concerning. Do you want to invest in a large facility and then, you can't use it? So we're looking to see what the other options are, but we're right at that spot where we're kind of getting ready to go, a little bit further with what we're doing. Just don't know what exactly that looks like yet.
Well, I mean, look, 2019, 1 year pandemic. I don't think you have to rush into anything anytime soon. So.
No. We just kind of, work on making the beers better and all that. And, like our original plan was we were going to start canning like this year.
Okay.
We would do it, once or twice a year here and there. But, year 3, 4 is when we'd really start canning and trying to get out to other places.
Yeah.
Pandemic obviously changed that. It was like,
Yep.
we had our anniversary. We had, 7 barrels of everything fresh. And it was like, so what do we do with this? Okay,
Yeah.
$5 crowlers, and hopefully we can pay for the hops.
Yeah. Thank you very, very much once again. I know you're clearly very busy, so I'm glad that we got to speak about Talking Cursive, and that's the big thing. For those who are looking for Talking Cursive, let them know where they can find you.
So we're here in Syracuse, 301 Erie Boulevard West, in the Creekwalk Commons, right across from the Art Deco historic Niagara Mohawk Building. You can find us online, talkingcursive.com, or Facebook, Instagram, Untapped, Talking Cursive Brewing.
So all that's going to be in the show notes. As for us, allbeerinside.com is the website, at allbeerinside on all social media, and as I say at the end of all episodes, drink craft, not crap.